Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we will be looking at how to integrate Google authentication, Google login inside Angular application. So this is actually the demo of the application we will be building right here. If you open the home page, it will look something like this, Google OAuth2. It will show you the login page, login with Google. And if you just click this button, you will be redirected to the consent screen where you can actually select your Google account. So just select your Google account and it will need to grant permission. You simply click on continue and then it will actually show you the actual details of your account, which is actually the profile picture, display name, email address and a logout button as well. So we are developing it in the latest version of Angular, which is I think 17 or 18. So this is actually the directory structure. We have a login component and we have this routing also done right here. It is developed inside TypeScript. You can see that we also have a logout button. If you click the logout button, you will be redirected to the home page. You will see that, very simple. So now you will stay on the login page because you are logged out. Once again, if you do it the same process, it will repeat. This time it will automatically do it for you, as it already know that you are already granted the access. So no longer you need to repeat the process. So it will show you this profile picture. This is the display name, this is the email address, like this. You can do it for any Google account. Let's suppose I do it for a different account. So by default the Angular applications runs on localhost 4200 port number. You will see that. So again we have this login. You just click this. So you will see that it is actually showing this all this information. So we are actually getting this access token from the Google Auth API to actually get the profile details of the user. I will show you step-by-step process how I implemented this, and we are actually using a special package which is specifically designed for Angular applications, which is angular-oauth2-oidc. So if you search this package on npm.js, it's a very popular package. So the name of the package is angular-oauth2-oidc. This is the name of the package. The very first link which comes right here, this is the command to actually install this. OpenID certified, you will see that. So it supports various social networks. Specifically in this example we will be looking at Google, how to integrate Google login inside Angular. So 166,000 weekly downloads are there. So we will, at the time of recording the video, we will be using the latest version of Angular. So it is out, think Angular 16 is a stable version and Angular 18 is also released. So it will be compatible with all the versions of Angular. So this will be the directory structure. If you want to purchase the full source code with full documentation, the link is given in the description. You can go to my website procodestore.com and you can directly purchase it. You will be redirected to Google Drive after you make the payment, and where you can actually get the zip file which will actually contain all this directory structure with full documentation. And if you face any sort of issues, I will also help you. So the link is given, you can directly purchase it. So now let's get started by building this application. So what I will do, I will stop this development server and I will simply go to my project directory right here. So YT projects. So I will simply create a new project of Angular, which is ng-new command. So I will simply say Google OAuth2 Google Angular project. So this is the command ng-new. ng, as you all know, it's a CLI tool for Angular for creating projects. This is the name of the project. Enter it and it will ask you some questions regarding if you want to use CSS or Sass, or would you like to add Angular routing. So we need to add Angular routing, so I will simply say yes, and we will be using the CSS. So just press enter CSS. So it will just in 1 minute it will take, and it will actually create your Angular project. It is installing all the packages and dependencies. So once it's installed, I will be back and we will be continue from there. So now you can see that, guys, it has created the project. I just need to navigate to the project directory. So I think it is named as Google Angular project. So I just need to open it inside VS Code. So it will actually open, this will be the directory structure of a basic Angular app right here. We have the app folder, we have the routing folder, which will actually have routes here. app.module.ts file we will have right here, where you can actually add third-party modules that we have installed. So first of all, we just need to install a third-party module that I showed you early on, which will help us to integrate the OAuth to Google login. So angular-oauth2-oidc, this is actually the module that we need to install, package angular-oauth2-oidc. Simply enter it and install this package. So it has pre-made methods for integrating the Google login. So once it is installed, you just need to see the package.json file. It has installed this package. If you see angular-oauth2-oidc, the latest version, which is 17.0.2. Now you just need to navigate to this file, which is app.module.ts file. So here in this file, you just need to register this module. So in Angular, you need to register modules in this file, app.module.ts file. So first of all, we just need to import the HTTP module as well, HTTP client module, because we will be making request as well to the Google API. So that's why we need this HTTP module, HTTP client module. So this is available in the built-in Angular framework, so in the HTTP module. So also we need to import this OAuth module from this package that we installed. So now we just need to add both these in the imports array, so HTTP client module and the OAuth module for root. Simply add these lines in the imports array, and that's all. We have successfully registered both these modules in the Angular app. Now you can close this file, and now we just need to create a brand new file in our app directory, auth.config.ts. You can just call this name anything, but I will be calling this one auth.config.ts. So inside this file, you will be writing the configuration code. So there will be just this object auth config. So here you will be providing all this client ID details, redirect URI, everything, export const. So this is TypeScript, superset of JavaScript. So here you need to provide issuer name, which will be constant, https accounts.google.com, put a comma, and then we need to provide the redirect URI, which will be window.location.origin, which is essentially the home page of the URL, which is localhost 4200. And then we need to provide this client ID, which will be coming. We need to get this client ID from Google Cloud Console. So I will show you how you can get this. And then there is a second, this option, which is strict discovery document validation, and this you need to set it to a Boolean parameter, which is false, and scope. So what sort of information you are requesting? So here you need to provide multiple scopes: OpenID, space, profile of the user, and the email of the user. So we will be requesting three information basic scopes. So here you need to put a semicolon. So it is saying to us that cannot find name. So here you need to add the import right here. So now it will be finding this auth config. It is available from this package that we installed right here. So it is using this method auth config, and it is creating this object, which is passing 5 properties: issuer, redirect URI, client ID, and the scope information as well. So we need to strict discovery document validation as well. So now we just need to go to the Google Cloud Console and just type here on Google Cloud Console, and you should have a basic account right here. Go to your console account and just create some basic information, which is the API services, and here you need to go to credentials, and right here you just need to click on create credentials OAuth client ID and select your application type, web application, authorize redirect URI, and here you need to paste your home page URL in both the fields, HTTP localhost 4200. If you see in the authorize redirect URI as well, the same URL, HTTP localhost 4200, and then click on create, and it will give you your own client ID. So don't copy my client ID. You don't need the client secret, simply paste the client ID here. That's all. So we have pasted the client ID. Now we can also close this file as well. So after this, we just need to create a basic component for our login button. So we can go to the command line, and there is a command which is available, ng command, ng generate component. So this is actually a shorthand command, ng, g for generate, c for component, and then we need to create components folder, and inside this we will create a login component. So you will basically see in the app component, in the app directory, there will be this directory created, components directory, and it will actually create this login component directly. It will have some boilerplate code automatically created by this command. So you will see it will create this components folder, and we have these 4 files created. This is your TypeScript CSS for your component file. This is the HTML, this is the TypeScript. You can see that. So this is automatically created, and one more thing we need to create, we need to also create a service file as well. So this is also required. So you can just see ng generate service shorthand, and then we need to create a services folder, and inside this we need to create the auth service. So you can give any name of your choice. This is important. ng generate services folder it will create, and inside this it will create the auth folder. So you will see that. So this service has also been created, auth service.ts. So this is automatically generated by Angular CLI. Now we just need to go to Angular app routing folder right here, and here you need to specify the route inside your application. So we will be specifying the home route, and it will be handled by the login component. So we can import the login component from the components folder. It will automatically import it for me, which is VS Code. So we have specified the home page URL. So it's a single page app, and we have specified this route where in the routing file. And now in the next section, guys, we will be writing the login component inside this TypeScript file. So I will be seeing you in the next section. So now, guys, in this section we will be writing our service file that we created in the earlier step. This is located in the services folder, auth service.ts. So specifically in Angular, services are typically the code which will actually interact with the outside world, such as the APIs, or if you have any sort of third-party object that you want to interact with. So this service will interact it, and you will see that it has a name right here, auth service. And now we just need to import that module that we installed here, which is auth service right here. So it will be automatically imported from this package, angular-oauth2-oidc. And also we need to import this file auth config that we written earlier on, which is, so it will also be imported from automatically .. So it is present in the root directory file, which is auth config. So we just need to require this file also in this service. And also we just need to import the HTTP client as well, because we will be making REST API request to the Google API. So that's why we also need this. So it will be again be imported from angular/common/http So after you do this, you just need to, inside your constructor here, we will be passing all these values. So this is required. We just need to pass everything in the constructor, because if you don't pass it, these methods will not be available to the service. So constructor is the place where you need to pass them. So you are passing both the auth service and the HTTP object to these constructors. So inside this constructor, we just need to write a line right here. We need to call a method this dot configure. So now we just need to define this method. That's why it is saying this red color right here. So it is saying that it is not defined. This method doesn't exist. We just need to define this privately. So private configure, and here you need to add or call this configure method that you defined inside. So this is part of the package right here. So here, if you see, it is, this service is coming from the base package, and it contains this configure method, and here we need to pass the auth config that we defined early on. So this whole object that we defined, which contains 5 properties right here, we are directly passing to this function, which is configure. And secondly, we also need to call this method load discovery document and try login, and here we just need to call this method. So what this method will do, it will, using these authentication options that you passed in the previous step, it will try to open, or it will try to communicate with Google, and it will go to that consent URL where you will actually select your Google account. So after doing this, now we just need to define the login method and the logout method as well. So we are just writing the service right here. We are just defining these methods. So in the HTML, we will be calling these methods. So for logging it, there is this built-in function which is available, init login flow. So when you call this, it will actually do all the heavy lifting. It will communicate to Google. It will open that URL. So you just need to call this function, one line of code. And similarly for the logout functionality as well, we will have this logout function, and right here there is a built-in function inside this package which is logout. Simply you need to call this, that's all. And three more methods we have to write here, which is getter methods in order to get information. First one is get identity claims. So this function will be responsible for getting the user information once you are authenticated. So it will return this information, get identity claims. Again, this is a built-in function. So it will return user information such as display name, email address, and profile picture. And once again, we have another function for getting the access token. So again, this library contains a pre-built function available to get the access token, get access token. And lastly, we will also have a function which will be user profile. So here in this function, from the name itself, we will be getting the user profile directly by going to this URL, https www.googleapis.com/oauth2/version2 user info. So it will make a simple HTTP request to this URL by using the HTTP client module. So we'll say this.http.get. We will pass the URL as the first argument, and in the second argument we'll pass an object, and here we'll pass a headers object, authorization. So this is actually the format that you see, bearer, and then followed by your access token. So this dot access token. So we are actually calling this method right here, this dot access token. This will return the access token and we will pass it to actually get the profile information of the user. So that's all that we need to do inside the service, guys. So this is now ready. So this will interact with the Google. So now we just need to write our login component right here, which is located in the components folder. So we will be looking it in the next section. So now guys, we will be writing this login component right here, which is located in the components folder. If you see right here, if you run the application right here, just run your application, you will just see the, so you need to run it by using ng-serve. This is the command in Angular. This will start your development server at localhost 4200. By default, you will actually see this file app.component.html. If you try to see the, so by default Angular just search for this file, which is app.component.html. This is a starting point. So it has a pre-built boilerplate template right here ready for us. So we just need to edit this file and just include the login component that we created. So it is just compiling the application, so just wait. So as you can see, it is compiled this and it is listening on localhost 4200. If I just refresh, you will see this home page of Angular. So if I make any sort of change inside this file, if I just write here h1 tag, so you will see that. So it will reflect the changes. Now what we need to do right here, we need to show this login component. So if you see, it has a tag right here, which is, this is a selector, app login. So we will use this selector in this to actually include this. So what we can do right here, we have this custom selector app login. That's all. We will include this like this, and now you can see this login works. It is saying to us. So now we can close this file and edit directly our login component. So for using the UI, by styling the UI, we are actually using Tailwind CSS CDN. So simply go to this website and include the CDN, copy the script tag and paste it. So just go to the index.html file and right here paste it. And now you can go to your this file right here. So we'll be having the container mx autos. These are all Tailwind classes. So we'll have a simple heading which will Google OAuth2 login example. If you just refresh now, there will be this. We see that this heading is showing to us. So here we will have a conditional. So we have ng-if, star ng-if, we can use it based upon a condition. So we will be having is logged in. So we need to define it in the component TypeScript, is logged in. So it will return either true or false depending upon whether the user is logged in or not. So if the user is logged in, we will be showing the information of the user, such as profile picture, the name and the email address. So we just need to define, or actually go to the TypeScript file, and here we need to define a property. So just write here. So first of all, we will define the user profile variable, which is of type any, and then we will have a simple constructor, and here we will be passing the auth service, which is of the type auth service. So this auth service that we defined in the services folder will get imported automatically in this component, and just have an empty constructor, and we will be having this ng-on-init, which is a life cycle method for every Angular component. This executes at the starting of every component, and here we will make basically have this dot auth service dot identity claims. So this function we have defined in the service identity claims. So if the user is authenticated, then in that case we will get the user profile, and we will then simply subscribe to the profile information. You will say this dot user profile is equal to profile. So now this user profile will be equal to the profile if the user is authenticated. So this will run every time when the component is mounted or opened by the user in the browser. Now we just need to define that method is logged in. So this will return this dot not sign. This will just return a boolean parameter. So this will interact with the service, and we have actually have a function right here which is identity claims. So again, I told you this returns a boolean parameter whether the user is logged in or not. So if you now open, you will actually see so here you will be showing the user information if the user is logged in. If the user is not logged in that case this ngIf will be not symbol. So this simply means that the user is not logged in, so the value is false. So in that case we'll be showing a login button to the user login with Google. So you'll be giving a tailwind classes pg blue 500 hover, so text will be white, py2 px4, and it will be rounded. So if you just open the browser, what will it will show? So nothing it is showing right here. Let me see, is logged in, is ngIf. This is div. Let me paste the code right here just to save some time. The full source code is given, guys, in the description. You can directly purchase it. So it is saying that all these methods are not defined. So what I will do, delete this. So now you can see that the user is logged in. That's why it is showing the logout button. So if I take another example, let's suppose if I go to a different account, again it is logged in. So now if the user is logged in, we can simply show the profile information. So the profile information which will be simply be present inside. First of all, we can show the profile picture like this, user profile dot picture. So if you see this object we have defined, user profile is coming from the service. You will see it's an object which contains three properties: the picture, email address, and the display name. So we'll be first of all be displaying the profile picture. then we will be displaying the display name. So user profile dot name. So here we will be defining the email address. So you will see that now all this information is displaying right here. The user is logged in. So we also need to bind a on-click listener to this logout button as well. So just have an on-click so that when we click this, we will be log out, and simply here also when we click this button, we need to executing the function which is login. So this is click, sorry, in Angular we do like this. So now we just need to define these functions in the TypeScript file. So right here it is just showing error. So this is one line of code. So for login, logout, and for doing this we already have made methods in the service, so we can simply call the service method login and this dot auth service logout. So this completes the application, guys. If you now test it, if you click the logout button, you will be redirected to the home page. You will stay right here because you are logout. If you click once again, you will be redirected to the home screen where you can select your account consent screen. You just need to allow the permission. After that, you will actually see your profile information. You can just do it for any account. Let's suppose I do this for this account. So it will exchange the access token, and then it will show you this is a display name, this is the email address. For this account I don't have a profile picture, so it is not showing here. So if you click logout, you will be redirected to the home page. Once again, if you do it, the same process will repeat, and this time it will automatically log you in. So in this way, guys, you can implement Google OAuth login inside your Angular application. So it is compatible with all the latest version. For the full source code, if you want, the link is given with full documentation and support. You can directly purchase it. After, if you face any issues, you can contact me at my email address as well. So you can purchase it from procodestore.com. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.